and welcome back to GK Today. I am Giorgia and in this video we'll cover the current affairs. Before we move ahead, let me inform you that these questions are part of our daily 20 MCQ series 2022 in the GK Today's Android application. So if you are looking for the text version of these questions and their explanations along with the interactive quiz, you may consider joining our daily 20 MCQ series in the GK Today Android application. In this course in app, you get daily 20 MCQs, a fortnightly quiz, a monthly revision document, and also category-wise revision e-books that are optimized for reading on mobile. You are also able to access all archives of questions from January 2020 onwards. And let me tell you one more thing. If you want the Hindi version of this session, you can refer to our former channel named as GK Today. The link has been given in the description box from where you can reach to. So without taking much of your time, let's get started.
Good morning everyone. Welcome back to GK Today. And today we'll be discussing most important MCQs for 29th of September 2022. Let's start. As per the sample registration system report, which state had the lowest sex ratio in India in 2018 to 20? So according to the sample registration system statistical report 2020 that has been released by the Registrar General of India, Uttarakhand's sex ratio at birth was found to be worst in the country at 844. And what do you understand by the term sex ratio? So basically it is the number of females per 1000 males. Fine. And which state was at the top? This is the state Kerala, and here the sex ratio was 974. Okay. So the report further stated that India's overall sex ratio at birth had gone up by 3 points to 907 in 2018 to 2020, and earlier this value was 904 in 2017 to 19. Okay. So it was 907 in the rural areas while this value was 910 in urban areas. These are the few important data that are relevant regarding this question. Okay. So four things are basically important. First of all, which state had the lowest sex ratio in India? This is Uttarakhand. Then which state had the highest sex ratio? This is Kerala. And what was the sex ratio in the rural areas of India? So it was 907. And talking about the sex ratio in the urban areas of India, answer would be 910. Okay. Next question. Which airport is said to be named after Indian revolutionary freedom fighter Bhagat Singh? So Prime Minister Narendra Modi announced that the Chandigarh International Airport will be renamed after Shahid Bhagat Singh, who is the great revolutionary of India's freedom struggle, right? So this name change will be effected from 28th of September, means already it has come into effect, and the decision has followed a 7-year-old political tussle between the Punjab and Haryana over renaming the terminal. Okay. So Chandigarh Airport project is a joint venture of Airports Authority of India and the governments of Punjab and Haryana. Fine. So don't forget that Chandigarh International Airport is set to be renamed after Shahid Bhagat Singh. Next is World Bank has announced $2 billion for the reconstruction and rehabilitation to which neighboring country of India? So World Bank has announced that it will provide $2 billion help to the country Pakistan for reconstruction and rehabilitation. Okay. And it includes food, shelter and other type of urgent needs of the victims. For example, health, food, shelter, rehabilitation and various type of cash transfers of the recent devastating floods. And obviously we know that Pakistan has witnessed its worst flood that have been triggered by record rain in 3 decades. Okay. So over 1600 people have been killed till now and over 33 million were affected due to the massive flood. Okay. So World Bank has basically announced the $2 billion help for the country Pakistan. Eliud Kipchoge, who was seen in the news recently, is associated with which sport? First of all, he is from the country Kenya, and he is regarded as the world's greatest marathon runner. Why he was in news? Because recently he broke his own world record by 30 seconds at the Berlin Marathon. Fine. So he is just 37 years old, Olympic champion, and his earlier record was 2:01:39, but now he has cut down this 30 seconds, and now the new record is 2:01:09. Okay. So two things are important. Eliud Kipchoge is related to marathon, and from which country he belonged to. So answer would be Kenya. Next is Giorgia Meloni, who was seen in the news recently, is the first female prime minister of which European country? So recently, Brothers of Italy, this is a party in Italy. So this party won the most votes in Italy's national elections, and now it is set to deliver Italy's very first far right led government since World War II. Okay. So its leader Giorgia Meloni is set to become Italy's first woman premier, and this winning of a right-wing party is seen as a shift in Europe's geopolitical reality. And the former president of European Central Bank, Mario Draghi, is the current prime minister of Italy since February 2021. Okay. So Giorgia Meloni is the first female prime minister of the country Italy. You can also be asked that who's the first female prime minister of Italy? So name is also important. You have to remember Giorgia Meloni. Next is Bathukamma, which was seen in the news recently, is associated with which state? So Bathukamma is a type of official floral festival that is celebrated by women in the state of Telangana. So it is celebrated to deepen our relationship with nature, and the main celebrations of this 9-day festival will be held on 3rd of October. So during this annual festival, women and the girls sing and dance around specially arranged flowers. Okay, so this is a type of flower festival, and it is from the state Telangana. Next is Typhoon Noru, which was seen in the news recently, has made landfall in which country? So Typhoon Noru has made the landfall in many places across the country Philippines, and now it has headed towards the country Vietnam. Okay, and as many as 5 rescue workers were killed in the typhoon, and this typhoon gathered power quickly from category 1 hurricane to category 5 in just 6 hours before the landfall. Okay, and this typhoon, which is locally known as Typhoon Carding, blasted the island of Luzon. So meanwhile, hundreds of thousands of people were affected after Storm Fiona hit Canada, right? Now also we know that Cyclone Asani has hit India in the month of May 2022. Can you tell me which country gave the name Asani to this cyclone? Do let me know in the comments. Now also Philippines was hit by tropical storm Maon in the month of August, and there was this cyclone named as Cyclone Imnati. It has hit the country Madagascar, right? So there are various types of Philippines like this, and you can make a separate list about them. Next is, what is the theme of the World Tourism Day 2022? So this day is observed on 27th of September every year, and this year theme was rethinking tourism. Okay, so the official World Tourism Day celebration was held in Bali, Indonesia. Okay, and World Tourism Day is led by the United Nations specialized agency, that is United Nations World Tourism Organization. Fine, you have to tell me where does the headquarters lie. So two things are important. Obviously, World Tourism Day is celebrated on 27th of September every year, and this year theme was rethinking tourism. NROL 91, which was seen in the news recently, was launched by which particular country? So recently US has launched a spy satellite named as NROL 91, and the United Launch Alliance Delta 4 heavy rocket launched this satellite for the US from California. Okay. So the National Reconnaissance Office is the agency of the US Department of Defense which designs, builds, launches and operates the reconnaissance satellites of the country. Fine. So NROL-91 is a kind of a spy satellite of which country? Answer would be USA. Next is, which Indian public sector bank has inaugurated its ethical hacking lab safeguard the bank's information systems? So the Union Bank of India inaugurated the ethical hacking lab at the Cyber Security Center of Excellence, where? In Hyderabad. So this lab is equipped with cyber defense mechanism and it will protect the bank's information system, digital asset and channels against the cyber threat. Fine. So Union Bank of India has inaugurated its ethical hacking lab to safeguard the bank's information system. Which country launched experimental satellites named as Shiyan-14 and Shiyan-15? So China has launched two experimental satellites named as Shiyan-14 and Shiyan-15 and the pair of satellites entered the preset orbit. Okay. So Shiyan-14 will be used to conduct the scientific experiments and verify the new technologies, while Shiyan-15 will provide the data in the fields of land survey, urban planning and disaster prevention and mitigation. Fine. So these two satellites belong to the country China. You have to tell me artificial sun and artificial moon are related to which particular country. Next is Jhulan Goswami, who announced her retirement recently, plays which sport? So India's ace female cricketer Jhulan Goswami announced her retirement recently as she played her final international match against England at Lords. Okay. And Jhulan played total 12 tests, 204 ODIs and 68 T20Is for the Indian women's team. And she has clinched 255 ODI wickets, which is the most by a women's cricketer in this format. So in the year 2007, Jhulan Goswami became the first female Indian cricketer to be named as the ICC Women's Cricketer of the Year, and she received the prestigious Arjuna Award in the year 2010. So these are some of her achievements. Fine. So Jhulan Goswami was in news because recently she has announced her retirement and she is from the sport cricket. So these are the most important current affairs and the news from today. And now we'll come to our revision section. Which three categories we are covering today? First of all, we'll talk about important hosts that are in news. Next, we'll see few important and the recent appointments. And at last, we'll talk about few awards and honors. Okay. So let's start with the important host. Which city is the host of the Global Skills Summit 2022? So the 13th Global Skills Summit 2022 has been organized by FICCI in New Delhi. And what was the theme for this summit? Education to employability, making it happen. Okay, so this was the whole theme for this event. So Union Minister of Education, Mr. Dharmendra Pradhan, inaugurated this particular conference and addressed this summit. And representatives from the World Bank, International Labour Organization, United Nations Development Programme, UNICEF, and industry leaders from organizations like LinkedIn, Amazon, Adobe will participate in this event. Fine. Two things are important. This summit is to take place in New Delhi. And what was the theme? Education to employability, making it happen. Which state is set to host its first ever Edu Invest Conclave? So the Odisha state government is set to host its first ever Edu Invest Conclave next year, and the aim is to attract nearly 1000 crore rupees investment in the state's educational sector. Okay, so primary objective of the conclave is to become a preferred investment destination for world-class education and the research. Okay. Which country is the host of the multinational naval exercise Kakadu 2022? Many times we have talked about this exercise. So this multinational naval exercise Kakadu is hosted by the Royal Australian Navy since 1993. And this year's theme is partnership, leadership and friendship. So it was participated by Shivalik class stealth multi-role frigate INS Satpura and Australia's P-81 maritime patrol aircraft. Okay. So the host of this exercise is Australia. India is set to host the MotoGP Grand Prix of Bharat in which year? So India will host this MotoGP Grand Prix of Bharat in the year 2023 at Buddh International Circuit in Greater Noida. Okay. So for this, Drona Sports, which is international organizer of MotoGP, signed the Memorandum of Understanding with Fair Street Sports. Okay. Which city is the host of Sustainable Textile Summit supported by MSME Ministry? So the host for this event is New Delhi. Which state is the host of National Conference of Environment Ministers meeting? Answer would be Gujarat state. Which country is the host of 19th ASEAN India Economic Ministers meeting? So the host of this event is Cambodia. Okay. What is the full form of ASEAN? The Association of Southeast Asian Nations, and you have to tell me where does the headquarters lie. Which country is the host of Conference on Confidence Building Measures and Interaction in Asia, that is SICA Summit? This is the country Kazakhstan. Anyways, the new capital of Kazakhstan is now Astana. Don't forget it. Okay. Now let's talk about the recent appointments. Who has been appointed for amending the constitution of Indian Olympic Association? So recently, Justice L. Nageswar Rao has been appointed for amending the constitution of Indian Olympic Association. Who has been appointed as the Director General of ICMR means Indian Council of Medical Research. So the new DG of ICMR is Mr. Rajiv Bell. Climate activist Vanessa Nakate, who was appointed as UNICEF Goodwill Ambassador, is from which country? So Vanessa Nakate has been appointed as UNICEF Goodwill Ambassador and she is from the country Uganda. Mukul Rohatgi, who was seen in the news recently, is said to be appointed in which position? So Mukul Rohatgi would be our new Attorney General. Okay. Who has been appointed as the Managing Director of the Common Service Center SPV? This is Mr. Sanjay Kumar Rakesh. Volker Turk, who was appointed as the United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights, is from which country? So Volker Turk is from the country Austria and he has been appointed as the United Nations High Commissioner for the Human Rights. Who has been appointed as the Managing Director of the National Bank for Financing Infrastructure and Development? This is Raj Kiran Rai Ji. Fine. Now let's see some of the important awards and the honors. Who has been named winner of the first ever Queen Elizabeth II Woman of the Year award? This is Indian origin Suella Braverman. Okay. Which is the most richly endowed award in science in the world? So the most important award in the field of science is Breakthrough Prize and also we call it as the Oscar of the Science. Okay. Vigyan Pragati, which received the National Rajbhasha Kirti Award, is a science magazine released by which particular institution? So this award has been presented to the magazine Vigyan Pragati, which is released by the CSIR. Who won the Best Actor and the Actress title in Drama Series in the Emmy Awards 2022? So in this year's Emmy Awards, the Best Actor award goes to Lee Jung-jae and the Best Actress award was conferred to Zendaya. Okay. Which sports person won the Business Line's iconic Changemaker of the Year award in 2022? This is Mithali Raj. Padma Shri awardee Ramchandra Manjhi, who passed away recently, was associated with which profession? So he was actually the folk dancer, and recently he passed away. Which state bagged the International Tourism Award for Best Destination for the Culture? So West Bengal state has bagged the International Tourism Award in the category of Best Destination for Culture. Okay. So these are the important awards and honors that you have to remember. Now let's start with today's quiz. Here on the slide you can see 5 questions which have been taken from the past 2-3 days current affairs. Pause the video and try to solve each of these questions, and at the end of the lecture, do not forget to share your scores in the comment section. So please be honest and do not cheat with yourself. So that's it for today. I hope you have liked the session. These were the important news and events from today, and we will meet again tomorrow with some more important current affairs. Till then, stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching, and please do not forget to subscribe to GK Today. With this, Minu Satsana signing off.